Headshot at your own earliest convenience. 1 minute TRT. Can you do it?
Mic check.
Yeah, I think we're on Facebook Live. He wants you to do a Brady Bunch headshot real quick. Let it roll for 1 minute and send it back. My hair. Good morning. Good morning. I believe we're on Facebook Live right now. As you can tell, it is moving fast here. We are at Veterans Bridge. Is it rolling? We are at Veterans Bridge right now. I have to stop talking for a second because we have to record something real quick. Then I'll explain what is going on out here. a minute. There we go. Sorry, guys. And I'm making sure, of course, that we are on Facebook Live right now. Sorry, this is moving fast. Um, as you guys know, and as you can tell, we're right now at Veterans Bridge in Brownsville, Texas. There has been a lot going on tonight. Paul, I think you need to zoom out a little bit. I could only see the corner of my head. Back up a little bit. There we go. All right. So this is what we have going on. We are at Veterans Bridge in Brownsville. In a few minutes, we're expecting to receive the two of the four Americans who were kidnapped, the two that are still alive. Right before we got here, we saw ambulances, fire trucks moving into position. Just on the other side, you can see some of the lights going off. There was one vehicle that went across the bridge. And of course, these four Americans from South Carolina were kidnapped on Friday in Matamoros. We are told that they were going over. One of them was going to have a medical procedure done when that video that's gone viral of them being attacked just on the other side of the bridge was shot. Now, two of those people, unfortunately, are dead, according to the Mexican government. The governor's office of Tamaulipas put out earlier that one of the Americans was unharmed. The other one is alive. Two others are dead and believed to be in the morgue on the other side in Matamoros. Now, this is going to take a bit just to let you know. I haven't had a lot of sleep overnight because we do have another crew. We have a freelancer that works over on the Mexican side. They are telling us that overnight there were several raids going on. One of those raids was in a neighborhood called Misiones. They were, of course, looking for the Americans to be able to rescue them and bring them back home. Now, we heard the FBI is involved, also Homeland Security investigations, the DEA, and other federal agencies have been working with the Mexican authorities in Tamaulipas and the government of Mexico to get these people back home. Unfortunately, again, this morning, the governor's office announced that two of the Americans were alive, but two have passed away. Now, as we wait here, you see people are still crossing. People go back and forth. You know, people live on both sides of the border. I'm going to stay out of his shot for a minute. And you can see the vehicles. People, this is normal. To a lot of people that are not familiar with the border, don't live anywhere near a border, it is something that they don't understand. Some people live on the Mexican side, work on the U.S. side. Some people live here, work over there, have families over there. So this border, people go back and forth. Americans go back and forth every day. We are seeing ambulances coming over right now. There are ambulances. So from the Mexican side, we see one ambulance, Paul, or was that two?
I see one.
We see one ambulance coming across on the Mexican side into that secure area on this side of the border. We are expecting them to go probably to the higher level trauma hospital here in Brownsville. And we are going to try and get those images for you as soon as they get here and then go on to the hospital. Our sister station out in South Carolina had an interview yesterday with the family of one of the men who was kidnapped. That interview right now is up on our website at foxsanantonio.com or News 4 San Antonio. And again, we are at Veterans Bridge in Brownsville, Texas, awaiting for the two victims who were kidnapped on Friday in Matamoros to be brought across the bridge. There was some arguing from what our sources are telling us, some discussions with the government of Mexico and with the government of Tamaulipas on whether they would be questioned on the Mexican side or brought back to the United States. And of course, the United States government wanted their citizens back on U.S. soil. And again, as soon as they come across, there are ambulances from the Brownsville area already on the other side of the fence that you see on the left. They're there waiting. We did see one ambulance already coming from the Mexican side. going into that secure area. Now, we believe, and I got to double check here real quick, I just looked it up. The higher level trauma hospital here in Brownsville would be Valley Regional Medical Center. That's where we believe they may be going, but there are two. There's a level 3 and a level 2. One of the two people we were told was in critical condition. So the thought right now is they will go straight to the hospital so they can be attended to by medical staff here in the United States. Now, if we go back and look, the last time something like this happened, not quite like this, but something like it happened, was about over 10 years ago at Falcon Lake. We had an interview last night with Tiffany Hartley. Tiffany Hartley and her husband were jet skiing Falcon Lake when they were surrounded by cartels. Her husband was shot and killed. Tiffany was trying to get her husband's body back on the U.S. side when the cartels turned around and were coming back. So Tiffany talked about that last night, having to make that hard choice of leaving her husband's body, and it was never returned. Before that, 34 years ago this spring break, Mark Kilroy, a UT Austin student, had gone over to the other side to Matamoros. He was kidnapped and killed. We're also efforting an interview with his family. And this is all happening at a time that spring break is already going in other parts of the country. And for South Texas, for a big part of South Texas, it will start officially on Friday when kids get out of school. A lot of people like to come down to South Padre Island. They like to come to the valley. They like to go across to Mexico, visit family, go shopping. Especially people like these four, we're told, had gone over for a medical procedure. A lot of people do go over to buy medicines, to go to the dentist, and you have to think this is going to put a huge damper to it. We do know, and it's been put out, this is a level 4 for the State Department. You have a warning that's a level 4. That means you should not be traveling to Tamaulipas. There are other areas also that, you may get on a plane and not think that where you're going is dangerous, but there are also other areas that are a level 4 right now. So before you travel, definitely check to see what level advisory there is on that area. And again, it's a shame. It is a shame that we cannot be going across. We used to go across a lot. We used to go to Piedras, Acuña, Nuevo Laredo, go shopping, go have dinner. But a lot of people are not doing that anymore because of the violence on the other side of the border. And again, we did see an ambulance probably about 5 minutes ago coming from the Mexico side, coming across the bridge. And it went into that area on the other side where it is safe. No, no, está bien. ¿Qué color era la ambulancia? Estamos en Facebook Live. Red, eran rojas. Así que tienes son rojas. Ya, de Matamoros. ¿Quiénes son? No saben. Okay. Yeah, we're discussing what color was the ambulance that came across. It's okay. The ambulances that came across. I thought I saw a white ambulance. We did see ambulances getting here from the U.S. side, crossing over where you see that truck on the left-hand side that's coming, and they went into the area to the left where you see the fence. That's the secure area for CBP, Customs Border Protection, and that is where we believe the exchange is going to be made, where the U.S. citizens will be then put into ambulances and then taken to a hospital here in Brownsville. One of those victims had critical injuries, according to the governor of Tamaulipas. One of them was unharmed. 2 others were killed. There's a lot of rumors going on the other side, speculations that they may have gotten confused and thought that the 4 that had traveled to the other side from South Carolina were Haitians that are on the other side of the border. That's one of the speculations going on. Nothing has been quite confirmed on that yet. And overnight, of course, there were raids going on all over Matamoros. There were raids going on. One of those neighborhoods that we're told was raided is called Misiones. As they were looking for the American citizens and looking for those who attacked them, kidnapped them in broad daylight. Now, on the other side of the border, a lot of people are confused and they're going, how can American law enforcement be there? Well, you have to remember there is a consulate in Matamoros. That consulate has attaches from federal agencies, FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security investigations. We've done a lot of stories with Homeland Security's investigations with the DEA. We know what their missions are. But at this time, all of these agencies have been supporting the lead on this, which has been the FBI. But they have all put in time on both sides of the border, working their sources, working their leads to get to this point, which is to bring the two Americans who survived the ambush on Friday in Matamoros and bring them back to the U.S. side. The other two, we are told, are at the morgue in Matamoros, and we do not have information yet as to when they will be brought back to the U.S. Veterans. Okay, bye. No han cruzado, estamos esperando. Okay, dale, bye. All right. So if you're joining us now, we are at Veterans Bridge in Brownsville. We've been here since yesterday reporting when it was confirmed that the video that went viral on Friday night from Matamoros was in fact 4 U.S. citizens, all believed to be from South Carolina with North Carolina plates on the vehicle. That video you see people, 2 of them being dragged onto the back of a pickup, including one female whom we're told is a Mexican citizen who was caught in that ambush. The 4 were believed to be going to Matamoros because one of the ladies or one of the people was going to have a medical procedure done, something that they had done in the past, traveled down here, gone across to have that medical procedure done. That's when something went terribly wrong. If you guys have seen that video, you can also go to foxsanantonio.com or news4sanantonio.com to see that video of when this ambush took place. Cut the sound out for a minute.
Sound is off.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Over here, over here.
All right, and Paul right now is getting the video as we see the ambulances coming. We are going to be following them. I'll tune. Can I go? I'm clear.